Green off-grid power is a green autonomous solution that provides power and heat in places with no or limited access to the grid. The green off-grid power solution supply any installation that needs power and/or heat. Examples include full control of a building with power supply, heat supply, ventilation control, light control, alarms, and everything necessary in a building. It can also be a complete power solution for a construction site that needs power for tools, small cranes, lights, pumps, and more, and may at the same time need the ability to turn on and off various appliances via an app or timing. A third example is to supply a telemast with mobile or other telecommunications equipment. Also, if the installation needs temperature control, for example a technical room, the system can provide it. The system can easily be configured to suit your application needs. It can even sometimes be your entire application. The vision of Green Off-Grid Power Solution is to create a packed and tested, green emission-free solution that can deliver power and temperature control from small installations to large demanding projects. The solution is built to last and with as little maintenance as possible. Everything is automated, and when something doesn't go according to plan or the tank is running out, you'll know via the Energig Mac system. It is a quiet solution, and we have prioritized safety, not only in terms of uptime, but also in the handling and monitoring of fuel in a vulnerable environment. The solution can be controlled locally on one or more displays and operated remotely via an internet connection and the Energig Mac system. You can even have fleet control if you have more than one green off-grid power installation. So how does the solution work technically? To generate power off-grid, we need power sources. These power sources must match the environment in which they are expected to work. It could be wind, solar, or hydropower. These are all good sources, but not 100% reliable. Therefore, we might need a generator to maintain supply for periods of time. But a diesel generator is not green, and the percentage of power needed from the generator is sometimes a fairly large part of the total supply. Therefore, we can now replace the diesel generator with a methanol fuel cell. With the fuel cell and the use of green methanol, your power source is green and has no emissions. The power sources charge the 48-volt DC battery, which will take care of peaks and the power supply on a daily basis. Only when the battery does not get enough power from wind, sun, or water will the generator or fuel cell start charging the system. The battery supplies the digital switching system and the power inverter. The power inverter produces 120, 230, or even 400 volt AC and can be scaled from 3.5 kilowatts and up. It is possible to make a buddy installation for redundancy. In this way, one installation will keep the neighbouring installation running until a repair can be formed. This is the pure electrical power supply setup. This is a working green off-grid power solution, but it doesn't have to stop here. If we add a storage tank to the system, we can heat the water with electric heaters. However, since we want to be green and efficient, we will first use the heat from the cooling system that applies to both a diesel generator and a methanol fuel cell. In this way, we will use a very high percentage of the energy in methanol or diesel fuel. We now have a system that can heat your building, truck, boat, or whatever you need to have heated. Hot domestic water is also possible. The entire electricity and heating system is monitored, alarm set, and controlled by the digital switching system. The switching system is a kind of PLC, and therefore it can be used to control a variety of appliances and functions based on logic and rules. This could be a compost toilet that has special needs, a ventilation system perhaps, with heat recovery. But also, almost everything you need is monitored, alarm set, and checked in your application. You can manage the system online via Energig Mac or locally on one or more displays. The solution is made of standard components, and the heart of the system is a software that can be configured to suit your specific needs. Green off-grid power solution works in modes if desired. In this example, we use a simple mode setup for a tourist lodge. This cabin has many functions that can be controlled. For the sake of simplicity, we have confined ourselves to these 8. These are things that can be turned on and off as needed, but if you have 50 to 100 functions, it is unmanageable to turn everything off and on at the right time and in the right order. This is what modes makes easy, even for a user who is not used to use the cabin. When no one lives in the cottage is in uninhabited mode. In that mode, almost everything is turned off and the minimum temperature in the cabin is lowered to keep the cabin frost-free. This is done, for example, to keep energy consumption down. With a single touch of the mode selector on the display, app, or a physical button, we switch to the inhabited mode and thus change all functions to what we have predetermined for inhabited. The temperature is raised, the ventilation starts, the kitchen functions come to life, and the light is set as selected. One more tap and we go in inhabited night, and the positions change again. The functions for which no new state is selected in the mode will not be changed. They continue in the state they already have. We always want to have the weather station turned on, and therefore it is set to on in all modes. This ensures that if it has been turned off by mistake, then we know that it turns on again at mode change. It is when you switch to a new mode that everything is set. When the first state is set, you can change what you like turning on the light in the kitchen, and then nothing happens to the light in the kitchen until you choose to turn it off manually or switch to a mode that changes the light in the kitchen. Modes is a powerful tool for doing something that is complicatedly easy to use, even for users who don't know anything about the complexities behind it. Thank you for listening, and feel free to contact us at Energic to hear more about the details and possibilities of using green off-grid power solution in or as your application.